I found out I was pregnant a day after Valentine's. We were walking looking for some electronics and I was feeling so nauseated. I'm like, I don't feel like standing, I don't feel like sitting. I feel like the atmosphere in town is so bad, and I was like, I really need to go home. My labor was so slow. It was so slow. I actually happened to labor for, I think, around 27 hours. It was one of the most brutal experiences I've had to go through. All I can say is my baby is actually the biggest blessing that has happened in my life. Hi guys, hope everyone is doing okay wherever you're watching this from. My name is Galanjeri, a journalist and content creator based in Nairobi, Kenya. And welcome to my channel. And oh my god, Team Elenen, you guys did that thing. You went above and beyond and showed me so much love on the comment section. And oh my god, I'm really just speechless, but I just want to thank you and welcome you on my channel. On this channel is actually about motherhood, because you guys know I'm new to it. Parenting, I'm going to bring you amazing stories of parents that are doing exceptional. So stay tuned, do not miss out, and I'll try my level best to bring you content after content after content. Yesterday, one of you went to my Instagram and said, Gala, bring us more content. We already miss you on YouTube. And oh my god, I had to do it. And today's video is actually inspired by someone who gave me a suggestion on the comment section. Her name is Wamboi Nderito. Wamboi, shout out to you. And she said, I would love Gala to talk about the pregnancy journey and now the motherhood, because you have opened that door, and also bring us your reaction after finding out you were pregnant. So, if you guys have not watched my previous video, I actually did a video with my mom on her reaction to my pregnancy and the kind of thoughts and feelings she was going through and how she adjusted. And right now she's actually literally the most supportive person and the most amazing grandmother. And if you have not watched it, please go back, because this video was actually inspired by that video. So, now where do I start? Let's start with the pregnancy so that we can go to the motherhood. So, what you need to understand is I was actually not ready for this phase of my life. It was so abrupt. And I had actually planned on maybe getting a baby 2 years, 3 years down the line. But who is God? He did his thing at the time that he thought was the best. And all I can say is my baby is actually the biggest blessing that has happened in my life. So now let's start with my pregnancy journey. So, this is not something I had actually planned. My baby was a surprise baby. I love kids, so I knew I would get kids down the line, but not right at this moment. Maybe 2 years, 3 years down the line. So, you see how people usually have signs when they are pregnant? I did not have any sign. No nausea, no vomiting, no nothing. I had like very minor signs, things that I would have experienced when I was at that time of the month. Like cravings. I usually have cravings. So when I was craving like 5-10 things during the day, it did not ring a bell that this is something different. And I remember that time the one thing I was craving a lot was ice cream. My goodness. I would go for ice cream and cake. I would go for those two even at 12 midnight. And I was craving a particular type of cake. I remember it was chocolate cake. The other kind of sign that I had was fatigue. See, I'm a journalist, right? So I was used to going far. Like we would even travel 3-4 days and come back doing stories. And I've never felt that type of fatigue. So this time what happened, I go for a shoot outside of the office. And when I come back, because I remember I didn't go to work every single day. So when I go and then I come back home the following day, if I'm not going, I would not get out of bed. I was feeling so tired and sleeping. Number one, I hate sleeping during the day. I've always hated sleeping during the day because I hate the feeling that I get when I wake up, because I feel so lazy, and just regaining my energy back is usually hard. So I hate sleeping during the day. But I used to sleep a lot. I was sleepy most of the time. And the other thing was I had a very strong sense of smell, which is funny because I've retained it to date. Like right now, I feel like I have, a very strong sense of smell. I can smell something a mile away, So that time, strong smells actually irritated me, and I hated the smell of perfume. Oh my god, I did not want anyone wearing perfume near me because it made me feel like puking. I had to go off perfume, and I love perfume, so I did not make anything out of it. So I found out I was pregnant a day after Valentine's, and this is what happened. My partner and I went to town. We were looking for some things, and then when we were walking, I remember it was in Luthuli. We were walking looking for some electronics, and I was feeling so nauseated. I'm like, I don't feel like standing, I don't feel like sitting. I feel like the atmosphere in town is so bad, and I was like, I really need to go home. I need to go home like right this minute. We didn't even finish buying what we were buying. I went home and I told him, you know what, I don't think this is normal. So what I'm going to do once we get home, because I remember where we were staying at the time, there was a chemist right outside the gate. So I was like, I'm gonna go to that chemist and I'm gonna buy a pregnancy test, and we're gonna see if I'm pregnant today, because this is absolutely not normal. So I went and I just bought the small strip, because let me tell you, there are many times that I thought I was pregnant, and every time I went and took the pregnancy test, it always turned out negative. So deep down I was like, why am I even bothering, because this is gonna turn out negative for sure. So I went and I was like, this is gonna turn out negative. I didn't even think anything of it. But let me tell you something. So I bought that strip, and it has like 2 lines, and sometimes it gets to the very end for the line to show. It did not even get to the very end. It actually started from ukumbele. Like, I was like, this is so messed up. If you think that I jumped up and down for joy, you're very wrong, because let me tell you, I was so shocked that I cried, and I cried so much, because a lot of things were going through my mind. Number 1, am I ready for this? Number 2, am I gonna be good at this? Number 3, I felt like I was at the peak of my career, so I was like, this is actually the wrong time to have a baby. Why is all of this happening to me? So I cried, and I remember my partner and I had a very long talk, and I was like, are we really ready for this? And to be honest, he was very supportive about it, but even that did not make me accept the situation right away. So what happened, I went to work the following day. So if you know Lynn Gugi, she's actually a journalist too. I work with Lynn. So I went to the office and told her, I actually think I'm pregnant, and I carried the strip that I had, and I told her I actually think I'm pregnant. So she told me, if you really want to be sure, because I told her, these things lie, so sometimes you have to take 2-3 tests just to be sure. So I was like, I really need to go to the hospital and get the blood work done for me to be sure. So she told me, okay, let's finish the shoots first, and then we go to hospital. We went to a hospital located in Garden City, and I remember just sitting there and waiting to be called in for my blood to be drawn. Oh my god, a lot of things were going through my mind. Oh my god, I was for sure not ready for that kind of responsibility at that particular point in my life, because I just felt like I'm just getting my life together right now. So it actually took a lot of time. I think we sat there for like 2 hours, and then I was called in, given my paper, and it read positive. Again, back to crying. So I remember I just went with the test, and you know what it actually said? You're 7 to 8 weeks pregnant, because my hormone level was way up, I think above 50,000. So it was like you're around 7 to 8 weeks pregnant. So we went to the doctor in charge, because I just needed some guidance, because it's my first time getting pregnant. I don't know what happens. Do I need to go for clinic? What do I need to get done? So we actually went in, and she was talking about, oh, you need to be on supplements, oh, this. I just told her, just hold up. I don't think I'm ready for this kind of information. I need time to process. I really need time to process this kind of information. So I told her, when I'm ready, I'll begin the clinic and I'll begin taking the supplements. So that weekend, I didn't even go back to where I was living. I just went home, because I felt like I needed a change of environment. So I went to my dad, and my dad is actually one of the first people that I broke the news to. But I didn't tell him direct. I actually made a joke about it, so he didn't think anything of it. And I remember that weekend, I just spent, I think, the whole weekend. I did not do anything. I did not go anywhere. I just stayed in the house and thought about the situation. So, because my dad thought it was a joke, he was like, okay, if that's the case, then you do not have a choice. You just have to accept and know what you're going to do about it. So, what changed my mind was I went to work, I think, during the week, and I found a woman doing an interview, and her story was she was unable to bear kids, and she had gotten to that point where she had accepted her situation, and she started talking about how kids are a blessings, and her story is actually what made me see the situation different. And I was like, why am I beating myself up? Why am I even crying? I should be happy. I should be jumping up and down for joy. And there and then I decided, now I'm going to look for a hospital. I'm going to start clinic. And I actually did all that. And let me tell you, my pregnancy journey was a bit smooth. But then I didn't have, you see those extreme signs that women have when they're pregnant. And actually my belly was not showing until it was like late in the pregnancy. Apart now from the sleeping and the fatigue, I did not have any major signs. So my pregnancy was very, very smooth. But now what happened, I went until the last bit of it, like 10 months, because my baby delayed coming. The actual hard part about my pregnancy, I think, was the delivery part. Because let me tell you, during my pregnancy, I suffered with something called ketones. Ketone is a substance found in someone who is fasting. And you know, when you're pregnant, you need to eat well because of the baby. So my doctor told me, I actually can't let you go past 40 weeks, because if you do, it might bring a problem to you. So I had an induced labor, but what happened is at around 40 weeks one day, I went for shopping, because I knew I'm about to go give birth. So I was like, I need my house stocked, I need to have everything ready for when I come back. And I had a very long walk, because I used to do walks just to induce the labor. So I went for shopping, because I knew my baby would come any day, because I had already passed the allocated time, my due date. So I went for shopping and then came back. And after having supper, it's when I started having the labor pains. So in hospital, we were told, if you start experiencing labor pains, give it an hour for you to be sure it's not false labor. And that's exactly what I did. So I gave it an hour. By that time, I had called my partner and I was like, we need to go to hospital, because the hospital I was going to is a bit far from where I live. So when he came, we went to hospital. And the funny thing is, once we reached the hospital, the pains went away. So we had to come back home and wait the following day, which is when I was supposed to be induced. And that is exactly what happened. But let me tell you, my labor was so slow. It was so slow. I actually happened to labor for, I think, around 27 hours. It was one of the most brutal experiences I've had to go through. But what I say is, I kept telling myself, by the I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna scream. My body was meant for this, so I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be so strong. And at that time, I was ready for my baby. So I was like, I just want to get through this. I want to hold my baby in my arms and just be done with this. You know, what I didn't let is people in my ear telling me how the experience is so hard. Oh, you're gonna scream, utangwa hadi nywele, sijui nini nini. I had a lot of people telling me all sort of things, but I had prayed about it and I said I'm gonna be so calm about it. And in hospital we were told, because I used to go for some classes. The hospital I was going to were given classes about pregnancy, birth, children and all that. So we were told, when you're in labor, do not scream. Save that energy for when you have to push the baby out. So we were told, hold your hands like this and then breathe through your fingers. And that is exactly what I did. So I made the process a bit easier for me, because they were saying, oh, you have to walk. I walked. the baby not descending, and then you have to sleep so that the baby can descend. But I found sitting was so comfortable for me, because when I slept, the pain was so unbearable. When I stood, the pain was so unbearable. So I said, I'm gonna sit. If this baby is coming this way, let the baby come this way. I was even given the ball, but when I'm bouncing and then the pain is coming, oh my friend, I could not bear it. And already during that time I had the water, like 2, because they are supposed to hasten the labor. Hey, but nothing was happening because my labor was progressing so slow. So the doctors had told us, because I was induced at 1 p.m., the doctors told us, your baby should be here at around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., my water has not broken. So the doctors had to break the water. Then it was said, since it was morning, this baby will come at around 2 p.m. latest. 2 p.m. comes, no baby. So at around 6 p.m. is when now things really got to me. The pain got to me. I had really tried to be so strong. But now everything now started getting to me, and I started crying. Oh my God, I cried. And I was telling the doctor, I'm so tired. I don't think I can bear this kind of pain anymore. I think I've just reached my level best. I've tried my best. So now let's just go for CS. And now when my mom had me crying, she started praying. She was going up and down. She was praying. So they had to like prepare the theater, because most of the people who had come, and you know what actually made me start thinking about everything is, women were coming after me. They came later than me, and they gave birth and went. So I was left in the labor ward alone. Not labor ward. Yes, labor ward. I was left there alone. So I started crying and asking God, what did I do wrong? Why am I the one who's experiencing this kind of pain? So at around 7 is when I was taken to theater, and I was so sleepy, because remember the previous day we had come to hospital, so I didn't sleep well that night. And then this other day that I was supposed to have the baby, I didn't sleep. I was so sleepy, and the doctors were so kind, because one of them was actually that doctor was giving me stories, because he actually realized I was dozing off. Let me tell you, when I had that baby cry, I felt so relieved, and I was so happy, because I was at it for like 40 weeks, so I was so exhausted. During these last weeks, I think the last weeks were the hardest for me during my pregnancy, because I just felt like I was so tired. We had this class, like I told you, and most of the women who were around the same weeks with me had already given birth, so 2 of us remained, and now this one gave birth before me, and my due date was before hers. And so I was like, what did I do wrong? Am I to blame? What happened? And when my baby came, the first thing that I did when we left the theater, I slept, and I slept like a baby. So I remember now I woke up, and since my body was so traumatized, I could not produce breast milk. My body had gone through so much. I could not produce breast milk. So during the first 2 days, I think my baby was fed on formula, and then the colostrum started coming, and that's what my baby was feeding on. And since she was not getting full, she used to sleep for like an hour, wake up, an hour, wake up. And babies are supposed to sleep for 2 to 3 hours before waking up. So the first month and 2 of motherhood, I think, were the hardest for me. And why is it that no one really tells you the reality of these things? Because I don't think anyone prepared me for what was to come. Oh my God. Personally, I love my sleep. And to get to a point where now you can't sleep as much as you want, oh my God. I was feeling so overwhelmed, but I thank God, because since I had gone for CS, I went and stayed with my mom, because she had to help me out with the healing process and the baby. So that is what made the process a bit easy for me. But now when I came back home is when now the reality of things really hit me. Remember, I've never even taken care of a baby. So even changing diapers, it's the doctors who are showing me. Bathing the baby, it's the doctors who are showing me. I did not know anything. I was so gray on that particular area. Oh my God. So when I came back home is when now, because when I was home and the baby woke up at night, my mom sometimes would wake up, help me out, and I'm sleeping. But now when I came back to my place, I had so many sleepless nights. so many sleepless nights and so many sleepless days, because the baby was only sleeping for around 1 hour, 2 hours and waking up, 1 hour, 2 hours waking up. Oh my god, I think that process actually made me have high regard for women who raise babies alone, because oh my god, I don't think I would have done it alone. Maybe I would have went crazy, but I thank God, because with time we get to adjust, and I actually adjusted with time, and the baby grows. Let me tell you, time is such a thief. Time is such a thief. Personally, I feel like I gave birth the other day, but when I look at my baby, and right now she's about to turn 5 months, I'm like, where did time go? And sometimes I fear missing out on milestones, and I feel like time is robbing me of my baby because she's growing so big. Oh my god, time is such a thief. So my motherhood journey, as of now, the first 1-2 months were the hardest, but right now I'm adjusting, I'm coping. Right now I think I can help out person or two. So if you're new to motherhood, holla at me. My email will be right there. Maybe I can guide you on 1 or 2 things, because this is what I realized. When you're a new mom, you actually need a community, and I want to thank the people at the hospital, the management, because let me tell you, we had a support group for women, a WhatsApp group for new moms whose babies ranged from 0 to 3 months. And let me tell you, I used to just sit on my WhatsApp and read all the messages that the mom sent of what they were going through, and others offered solutions. And I think that is one of the things that actually held me, because I was like, oh, I'm suffering from this. Okay, this other mom is also going through it. Okay, this other mom is going through this. Oh, this one is even going through worse things than me. And I was like, I need to be so appreciative about everything that I'm going through. But with life, we get to learn things as we go. We go as we learn. And so I think one of the things that motherhood has taught me is a lot of patience. A lot of patience. And the other thing that actually life is teaching me, personally, I usually feel like I have a lot of love to give, and I've always loved children. So right now I'm just learning to draw the line between giving too much love and spoiling my child. And I don't think there's a manual to that, and I don't think anyone can train you on that. So there are just some things that you'll have to learn on the job. And that is where now I'm at that particular point, just knowing what kind of boundaries should I set, what kind of I don't know. I just feel like I have too much love to give, and I don't know if you have any suggestions on the kind of boundaries you should set with your children. Moms who have been there before, please leave your comment on the comment section down below, because I think that is one of the things that I'm struggling with right now at the moment. And I think the other thing is, I don't know if I'll say this, but I'm doing another video on nannies, so I think you should watch that one. You should watch. I'm doing another one right after this. So that is the thing, just trying to allocate duties, because sometimes I feel like it's my child. Should I let someone else deal with my baby when I'm here? So just having that kind of balance, I think, is also one of the other things that I'm actually struggling with at the point. And I think the other thing that I struggled with motherhood is the injections. Jesus Christ, no one again prepares you for that. Hey, the vaccinations, and then the baby cries and you do not sleep. Oh my God. But like I said, life has taught me so much. And right now, I think the amount of patience that I've had since having my baby has really grown. And my sense of responsibility. Because right now I feel like sometimes I just look at my baby and I'm like, oh my God, God entrusted me with a whole human being. You know, when I used to hang out with other babies, they were not my babies. So when it got to that point when this baby is crying, the baby is disturbing, you just return them to the mom. So now this is the case. So right now, if I give someone my baby and my baby is crying and my baby is disturbing, they bring her back to me. So just learning that sense of responsibility. And I don't know, sometimes I still don't believe that I'm responsible for a whole human being, but I will go learning with time. So I don't know if there's anything else you need to know, because I feel like those are some of the things that I've learned. or my pregnancy journey, my motherhood journey. I'm still new to it. I wouldn't say I've mothered another child before, so those are the experiences that I have, and my child is so young, so maybe I'll have more lessons as time go. But that was it for today's video, guys. Yeah, I think I've covered what Wambui had suggested. That's all I have learned so far, guys. But thank you so much if you've watched this video to the end. Thank you so much for being an amazing supporter of my work. And watch out for the next video. It's coming out soon. And if you have suggestions of what else you'd want me to feature on this platform, please leave your comment down below. I promise you guys, I read all the comments and I try my best to read all the comments. So don't be scared to leave your comment down below. And please continue showing me love. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video. Share the link with other people. Tell your friends to tell your friends so that this channel can grow. Guys, I'm just starting. But thank you so much for all that you've done for me so far. Let's continue supporting this channel. And until next time, bye-bye.